While this is my personal story, I know there's so many others like Patricia who have been through so many things. We're very different, but we share something very similar. We come from completely different backgrounds. This is happening to everyone. It doesn't matter your color, it doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter anything. This is happening to everyone. Most important for your attention, I'd like to bring to your attention is 60 days is not nearly enough. 60 days to pack up your home, get a savings for a 30% down payment on a house. The economy, the fluctuating housing market, short-staffed bank and mortgage companies that can't even begin. Just the process from finding a home to signing the dotted lines is sometimes more than 60 days. And we were given that to try to find a place to live, get the money together, get our credit together. It's not enough. It's an archaic law. Secondly, families who had done nothing wrong were paid on their rent, were displaced by owners who didn't even take care of their homes to begin with. We literally woke up one day and realized we were no longer going to have a home. Thirdly, I'd like to propose more education on credit building before this happens. When we got to this point, I had no idea. I never even heard the term debt to income ratio. Kids in schools, kids in even these programs, sometimes you're going through the program, neighborhoods, you're going through it. You don't really know how to start over. I don't know about humanity, but you don't know where to build. You don't know how to start. We learned so much through the process. That was the blessing of this, was what we learned going through it, but many don't know. Ask a teenager, ask a freshly graduated teenager right now how they're going to build their credit once they start college or get out of college. They will not know. There was no policy, no nonprofit or government agency that could help us, and this was totally legal. Neighborhood had like I said, they had their program, but 60 days, I couldn't even go through that program to get it. We personally had little and big miracles that happened to our family, as well as a support system that not all families that go through this have when they go through this crisis. According to WorldPopulationReview.com, 66.7% of the total homeless population are single people, while the remaining 33.3% are families like mine. I wonder how many of them had done nothing wrong, were just paying their bills, trying to provide a home, a roof over their families' heads, only to suddenly become homeless. That should not happen in the United States of America. I really plead with you to hear my story and not hear it like, oh, some woman stood up there and spoke for 10 minutes. I want you to hear it and put yourself in my shoes, put yourself in Patricia's shoes as she speaks, so that we can change this not only in Delaware, but everywhere else. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Natural. Very, very good, thank you. And then Patricia Bradley, again, one of our winners. Quite a story. She's a retiree from the state of Delaware. It's kind of ironic. And Patricia, you can say a little bit about what brought her to Habitat SourceStep and what her experience has been. Patricia.
Thank you. I would like to thank God and everyone who's here to listen to us today, because I see there's a paper on the table with a lot of housing facts. These facts mean nothing to us who live in the world, because what they don't tell you is about the stresses that it tears them. I was a retired CNA with the state of Delaware, 30 years. I worked for the state of Delaware, probably the most time my kids were growing up. I don't know what affordable housing is. For me, that's the politically correct word. I know about unaffordable housing. I know about when I'm making $600 a month, my rent is $595, and I have to give a whole paycheck to the rent, and then wait to feed my kids and maybe buy clothes. How do you sit down with your kids and tell them you just can't? Because the most important thing when you get to prioritize your life is that we have a roof, that we don't have no heat, that we don't have no electric. It's okay, because you know what? It may be cold inside, but it's probably warmer inside than it is outside. These are the stories and the conversations I had with my kids as they were growing up. I worked 3 to 11, thinking that 5% extra was going to make a big difference. in my income and how I got to raise my kids. It did not. Every time I went to upgrade our housing, I was still just one paycheck away from being homeless. After going through retirement and looking at everything that my kids have been through, people say home is where the heart is at. I say that's not true. My heart was in my job trying to provide a home for my kids. My kids have no real security. You're only raising yourself. The best I can tell you is, you know what? This is what we have to eat tonight. Lock the doors. Don't answer the phone. Don't let nobody in. That is the most of my conversation. I don't get to sit there and have dinner and be a part of your life or mold you for the life that's going to swallow you up and eat you up. Your dreams, your hopes, what are they? That tomorrow I get another chicken leg because I'm still hungry and I'm not getting enough to eat. What does the future look like? What does the future look like, not just for the kids who have to endure this, but